I am Jeremy Wagamont, and I am the chef owner at the Grandview Tavern and Grill here in Old Town Arvada. Today we did a pan-roasted chicken breast with candied peanuts, corn grits, pickled spring onions, and a pepper broth. So we take the chicken breast, put it into a cold pan so that we can start rendering the fat right away. You don't necessarily want to start chicken in a hot pan. Just a little bit of oil to help it not stick too much. Cook it on medium heat on the stovetop until the skin is nicely rendered, and then without flipping it, we go straight into the oven and let it cook 90% of the way skin side down. So then we take it out, we flip it over and just kind of finish the breast side, and we cover it with some candied peanuts. The peanuts are candied in a mixture of sorghum, molasses, white sugar, and butter. And we put it on the skin side of the breast, put that back in the oven just for a minute so it kind of melts into the chicken skin and becomes part of the crust.
How did you come to put candied nuts on the skin?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not sure if I've seen it before or if I've done it before. I know that I've done like glazing pork in pepper jelly or things like that is very normal, especially if you go to like a Vietnamese restaurant and get chicken wings. It's like a caramel glaze that they toss the wings in. So I just thought it's a natural progression just to not quite make a peanut brittle, but almost make a peanut brittle and then let it finalize by melting onto the skin. So for tipping the chicken, I would usually use a meat thermometer during service because we're going a little bit faster. I'm looking for it to be about 155, assuming that it's going to rest up to 165. And I'm going to temp it right next to the bone on an airline breast because that's where the lowest temperature is going to be. If you were going to cook just a boneless, skinless breast, it's going to cook a lot faster. You'd still probably want to pull it at 155 and just let it rest for a minute or two, and that'll kind of complete the cooking. The Grandview Tavern and Grill has been in Old Town Arvada since 2004. I bought it from the second owner who took it over in 2014, and I took over as of April 1st of this year, which is 2026. We're kind of keeping it as a neighborhood bar and grill. We changed most of the food menu to just be more Southern, everything made from scratch. It's a much smaller menu now. We do a hot plate lunch, which is pick a protein and 2 sides for lunch. And then at dinner, it's more shareable, sort of protein heavy dinner menu, almost like a steakhouse style. So these grits are really basically cooked grits. It's just water, grits, and butter with some salt. The grits themselves come from a brand called Bow and Arrow brand, which is from the Ute tribe in southwestern Colorado. So they're Colorado grits, really high quality, fantastic corn. So we don't do much to them, so you can really just taste the corn.
How long do they take to cook?
About 2 hours, sometimes a little bit longer. They're a nice coarse grits, so you can't really rush hydrating them. You just have to cook them and just let them sit and do their thing. I guess my culinary point of view is I like to, as much as I think of this as really simple food, and I try to do stuff just really simply and without overthinking it. The grits being just really high quality with butter, salt, and water is kind of my philosophy on cooking. Get good ingredients, have a little fun with it, but don't try and do too much to it. Just let the ingredients really shine. The pan sauce itself is a chicken stock that we made from the bones of the chicken. All of our chickens we buy are whole chickens, and then we'll just use the different parts for different dishes. We then roast the wings and the backs to make a chicken stock, and we reduce that by about 3/4 to make a nice thick broth. Once we take the chicken out of the pan, we deglaze the pan with that reduced chicken broth, finish it with some lemon, a little bit of salt, butter, to kind of mound into a butter sauce. And at the very last minute off the heat, we do the juice of Anaheim chili peppers. We don't really want to cook those because I want to really taste that fresh pepper in the broth itself. I lived in Louisiana for a long time, and I'm doing Southern food, but I'm trying really hard to have it be Southern food that makes sense in a Colorado setting. I like fresh chili peppers. Green chili is obviously a big thing here. This is not like a take on green chili at all, but I like that fresh green chili pepper flavor in the sauce because I think it ties the whole thing together, gives it a little bit of freshness, a little bit of brightness, a scotch of heat, but not much, and it just helps bring everything together. What I like a lot about this dish is it's a fun mixture of different sort of flavors and textures. The candied peanuts obviously get a little bit of sweetness, but because it's sorghum molasses, it also has a little bit of sourness to it. And then the crunch from the peanuts gives it a little savory, crunchy note that really pairs well with the chicken skin. The grits themselves are just nice and buttery and corn and just very earthy. The pickled onions give a little more crunch and a lot of brightness because there's a lot of butter in this dish, so you need that acidity to kind of balance it out. And then the fresh chili pepper just gives it a little bit of heat, but also just a feeling of being very fresh.
Really freaking good.
I'm glad you like it. Thank you. The chili pepper broth I essentially did on a chicken dish in New Orleans the first time. And it's just a fun way to use fresh peppers that keeps them very fresh and is different than just putting peppers on a plate, you know? Just a handheld chicken breast.